Hello, welcome back. History of Design, Session 13, Part B. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing good. Today, we're going to teach you about duotones and catch up on that project we got going on, the zine, the Superfold zine. I think it's a lot of fun. Hope you do too. Yeah. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Oh my God, I just got I was like, wait, there's not another thing showing up here, but I just was looking at a different class. So it's all good. So we know what to do. Titles, little right up there. And then we got our zine and we make sure we do our attendance and all that. So what do we got to do next? What do we got to do now? What do we got to do next? It's all about the sketching. It's all about figuring out what you want to do before you start doing it, right? We got to get the groundwork, the blueprint, the rough sketches, the thumbnails. All right, so what you need to do is with some commentary from me tomorrow on your projects, you're going to create your final sketch. This is just to get everything in its place where you want it, like just one last rough through, right? Before you jump into that computer and then start working on it in the computer. Because then what we're going to do is you can place that into the computer and work right on top of it. And whatever you have on your sketch is going to translate directly into the computer, and there's no figuring out. It's all there. Save yourself the time. I know everybody thinks like, oh, no, it's just quicker if I just go right into the computer. It's actually not. I have experience. I've been doing this for 30 years. You know, it is clearly easier to get that sketch down and be like, okay, I want this here. I'm going to make sure, double check this here. I want to tweak this thing here. And we do it. So do the final sketch and then start the zine. Now you can do it in Illustrator or in InDesign. I'm letting you pick your poison. These are both files available to you. And you need to make sure that you kind of get everything. And now I'm realizing I should put in the parameters again. Yes, I will include the parameters again because it's very clear in part 12 here. Part 2, it's this. So I will put this in. I'm actually going to put this in now. So you know it, so nobody can be like, I didn't realize it. And then I'm just going to talk about this for a while. Edit. Paste. There we go. Save. All right. All right. So let's do first things first. Let's talk about this. And I just want to make sure everybody understands what we're talking about when we say duotone and stuff like that. So first thing I want you to know is I'm getting to it. All right. So we have our sheet, right? Now we can do a couple things. First, I'm going to start with black. So you get half one. So I'm going to say there's black here. You can do black, 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 like on all the pages. You have your page color, right? The page color, which you can change. You can do an off-white. You could do a colored paper, but then that has to carry through, right? Then there's no white. Your white is the color of the paper. And then just for sake of quickness, then the front cover can have red. This can have red. So that would be color number 1. And then this page can have this color, this can have this color, and this can have this color. Now then the other one If I go to blue, then that can go here. This is 2. But then here it's 1, 1, and 1. So that's the color combinations you're able to use. You can use whatever color you want. All right. Black, the paper, and one extra ink color. So you can play around. All right. And then the color of the paper. So if you use the color of the paper is yellow, then that's yellow becomes your white. So you've got to think about what you want to do and how you want to do it. It takes a little kind of figuring. So you can have it all laid out, but then everything you have, you're going to have to transfer the colors. You're going to have to like export your every color image you're placing in is going to have to reflect the duotone of what you're doing. So let's play around a little bit. File, open. Now, did I have them on my desktop? Oh, I did a copy and paste. Okay. Let's go back to desktop. Cancel. All right. I have this image. This is already a gray scale. So what you do, I'm trying to think. Let's find him. I'll find a new image. I guess I want to start with color. That's why. Copy image. File. New. There we go. Create. And then I'm going to paste. All right. So I have a colored image, right? It's really low res. So what I'm going to do first, and this is in Photoshop, I'm going to go to image mode grayscale. And you don't have to flatten it. And you can just discard that. So now I have this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, and then I'm going to do Save As. And I'm going to save it as a TIFF, not a PSD, not a JPEG. I'm going to do a TIFF. The TIFF I have found is easiest to do this with, and it works in several different ways. And I'm going to call this Gray Experiment 01. So there you go. And I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to make sure it's all in the highest stuff. And I'm going to hit OK. OK. So now I have this. Now in Photoshop, I can make a duotone. I can make a rainbow tone. So you have to know what colors you want to start with. And then you can do it. So it's a little bit weird. So I'm going to take my grayscale here. And I'm going to go to image mode. And I'm actually going to transfer it back to either RGB or CMYK. Since we're doing print, it's going to be CMYK. I'm going to hit don't flatten. And I'm going to hit OK. So now I have a grayscale TIFF. And I'm going to make sure I change this. When I save it, I don't want to save over. I need to keep a grayscale TIFF. But I want to show you in Photoshop how to do a duotone. So if I come down to the bottom of my layers and go to that circle there, and what I want is gradient map, not gradient, gradient map. And the second I click on this thing, boo, look at what it does. Isn't that rad? So you can change this and you can do all this cool stuff. And so what you need to do is figure out your colors. So if I go to basics and if I double click, or I go to edit, I can start to say like, oh, red is my main color. I want red. And make sure that's all up there. I'm going to hit OK. Now you're like, that looks crazy. Well, you just flip these. One side to one side to the other. And there you have it. And this is actually not a duotone. This is a single color. This is just a single tone. To make it a duotone, I add in a color. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to change it to red. And then this one is going to be my black ink. And that's now what we call a duotone. There's two inks being laid down, a black ink and a red ink, and it creates that duotone. Now you can play with the slider, sharpen it, bring that up however you want. You can even go crazy. And like, if you were doing something else, it's just fun to experiment. Like add like colors into it. Like, whoa, the midtones then change. Like, wow, like you can do all this fun, weird stuff and pull it right back off, readjust your center marks, push this over here, pull it back. So you can play around. I just want that guy. I don't like that it's not letting me move my marker. So play around, have some fun. This is how you do it in Photoshop. So it has to be, and then, like you get it where you want it. Oh, I hate that big thing. There we go. Now it's letting me move that. It has to be the arrow. That's what I was going for. And if I hit OK, I no longer want to save this as what it's called. I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to call it like red. And hit Save and hit OK. Because now I have this and it's the red one. That's the duotone. So it's under here and it's called Gradient Map. And you can do the funnest stuff with this. I love it. Now you can also do this in Illustrator. Illustrator, I will say, is a bit limiting. InDesign isn't as limiting. So I'm going to place an image in here. File, place. And I'm going to do, I have it under history. And I'm going to do gray experiment TIFF, and I'm going to hit place. Now I'll reduce the size of this so we can all see it. All right. Now, because it's a TIFF, this fill color can be red. So now this, again, is a single color from red to white. I should drop in that other one. So that's red the black, that's red the white, because in Illustrator, you can't change, you can only change the fill color one way. So if I go here and I click on here, it's still stuck to that. You can make a shape, and you want, I don't think it, everybody said object, arrange, bring to front. So I can make a shape of a color and then click on my image and go, well, the color should, this background color should be different. So say I do black. This isn't going to work out really well. But if I do this, and then I go here, and I go to, and I just start to play. Darken does nothing. Multiply, color burn, and you go through. Will this do anything? Well, what it's doing is it's overlaying, and it's making everything kind of transparent. Here's a different one that's starting to get really kind of rad, but it's a different color. So none of these work. So, but, oh, look at that, cool. So if I go back to normal, but if I change this color to say cyan, and then I do this, nope, not there, opacity, then I start to play with these, I start to get some different effects, but it's not correct. So what Illustrator can do is it can take a grayscale and change a grayscale into a single color version, not a duotone. So as you can see, this is a duotone where we swap the paper for red and we add the ink. Oh, and you could do that in the Photoshop one too. I wasn't thinking about that. We can add that paper in there. So if I go here and I add another one here, I can change that to the background color. So now look at that. Like now I'm playing with the white, the red, and the black, and you can get some nice looking stuff right there. And I can hit OK and then file. And if I hit save, and then I go back to here, Illustrator is going to tell me that that needs to be updated. So that's more ways to do it. So for Illustrator, for more in-depth duotoning, you have to kind of use the Photoshop version. InDesign allows you to do something else. It's crazy. So I'm going to place that gray experiment, open, place it, go to here, go to the free transform tool, hold down shift to make it the size. So I have this, and I have two ways to select it. I can direct select like that, or just common select it. All right. So I'm on this right now. Now, if I go to my fill and I change it to red, it makes the white red and it keeps the black black. Not really what I want. So I'm going to go back to none. But if I take the direct select tool and I click on this and I change that fill to red, I get that. Now, if I go back to the select tool and I click on this and I change that color to say black, or registration is over black, you can see what's starting to happen. I can play with this. I just have to have it the correct way. So this, I'm going to change to red. This, I'm going to change to black. And you get a milky kind of half tone. So you can play with it in InDesign as well. I'd say I don't prefer this coloring. It's kind of, I don't know why in registration it knocks that out. But you could, end up doing some cool stuff. Like if you reverse these, it's all about just playing around. What's it going to do? I don't know. Try it. I don't know what it's going to do. Try it. So if I change this to yellow, and then I do inside, and I do inside to this, that's kind of cool. And I don't know if this will change anything. Multiply changes the color system. So it makes it so that initial color, this is what I was expecting to have happen. So there's a lot you can play with, normal to multiply. So then if I were to change that, then, so I know that's, if I do the multiply in the black, it's much richer. And then, so I want to go back to here. And if I click this and I do this fill to the red, it's dark. But if I double click on this and if I go to the sliders, I can use my tints, right? You can use your tints for that as well. So there's a bunch of playing around you can do in every program to get a duotone or a single image color change. So everything, just to reiterate, we are not doing a full color piece. You are allowed black plus one color, which is reflected in one set, and a blue with another set. So like if you did some funky thing, you could do, 4 different colors on the front, and say like you made like the front cover can be black, red, blue, and paper. The back cover can be black, red, blue, and paper. Then section A can be black, red, paper. And then section B, black, blue, paper. But again, when I say these colors, you can pick your own, any color out of the rainbow. But there is going to be no full color imagery. So then when you get your pieces, all your David, for me, the David Carson images, let's see, I'm going to pick one. I'm just going for full color. Copy image. I'm in Photoshop and File, New, Clipboard, Create, Paste, and we're going to Image. I'm just going to make sure image size. These are coming in super small for some. Go to 300. Oh, it looks like shit, but don't do that. Zoom in. Oh, that's so pixelated. I can't stand it, so I'm going to start again. Don't save. You know what I didn't do? Tools. I'm on a different screen. Large. No, I want large tools. Large. I just want one. Oh, here. Oh, this is already duotone. Let's do this. Copy image. File, New, Clipboard, Create, Paste. So say this is his image. Well, guess what? I got to go to Image, Mode, Grayscale. Don't flatten. Discard. And then, so if this is like, I want, this is he's red, black, and white, then I turn it to grayscale, then I go to Image, Mode, CMYK, don't flatten, okay. And then I'm going to go to this. I'm going to go to Gradient Map, and I'm going to double click, and I'm going to have this be red. I'm actually going to have a middle point be red. The top will be black, and the base can be white. So I can use this now. This is a duotone of his image. And then for this one, I save it as color. And then I can place it in, and it'll work just great. And then you can make your adjustments here if you want it like more contrasty, less contrasty. You can shift things around as much as you want. So I would go to Photoshop. It gives you the most control, and then you save these out and you place them into your piece. I think that's it. Illustrator, you can go to white. It doesn't really work otherwise. Like you can change it. You can do a single, which may work for you. This is brought in from Photoshop. And then from InDesign, you can do both. It's just a little futzing back and forth, and you have a little less control. But it's a duotone, but you're not able to necessarily have it go to white like you could in Photoshop, in which Photoshop allows you to do the full-on 2 inks to paper, and then what would it look like? This would look crazy. I don't know how it knew to pick blue, but that's like that would be the duo. This would be a tritone. Weird. Lovely. So there you go. That's some of the work that you'll be working on. It's a little bit harder, maybe, because it's just not plopping them images. You have to think about it, and you have to make the duotones. You have to make them look good. You're using other people's work, and it's going to change it, but that's okay. That's what the piece is about. It's supposed to be somewhat of a grungy piece. Only 2 colors. You know, like there's restrictions on it. Like that happens. You're going to get those requests. Back in the day when there was newspapers, all you had was black and white. And you would have restricted colors. They'd be like, on this one page, you get to add the color red. And then so you'd be like black, white, and red. You'd be like, okay, I got to be really specific on where I put red on this and like how I do it. But it is a lot of fun, and it gets you to think in different ways about the design as a whole. So there you go. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Play around, watch the video, see what I did. It's all about the gradient, how you select and which color you select. Gradient map in Photoshop. And it's making sure you save it correctly. The TIFFs, a grayscale TIFF will change colors in Illustrator and InDesign. I know it for a fact, and that's why I use it. You can try something else, but I'd go with the factual one, not waste time. And yeah, that's what I got for you. So, all right, cool. Again, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns that I can help you with along the process of this new style of design. All right, take care. Bye-bye.